So America is represented by an eagle. Everybody knows that, but it seems right now that the left wing and the right wing of the eagle are fighting with each other, and that doesn't really work well because you need both wings to fly, right? So you can't really injure one wing or the other wing and still have a healthy bird. So everybody kind of knows that we're experiencing a lot of tribalism, and right now we have political strife and disunity. And so I think that, the idea that we want to talk about, I think that what we need to really talk about is how to have unity and what it is that the left and the right need to do. Like the left notices the problems that we have in our system, and they want to change that. They want to fix it. And the right says, well, there are some problems. Yeah, sure. But we actually also are doing really well. If you look around and you compare us to the rest of the world or to history, we're doing remarkably well. And so both things can be true at the same time. We can be doing remarkably well in comparison to other nations in history, and also there could still be problems. We can still have things that we need to fix. So, but the problem is that right now the right says, we don't want to change anything. Boom, let's just lock it all in place. And that really doesn't work because the world's dynamic. We can't really change it and turn it into a static system. And the left says, we want to burn everything down, tear it down, and start from scratch. And that is also a really terribly bad idea, because then you're getting rid of all the good stuff that we have as well. So what really should happen is the left should propose a change, and the right should basically narrow that down to the most specific thing that it is, right? And almost do it scientifically. We'll change one thing at a time, and see how it goes. And then, look at the medical system, right? Like we've had change after change after change over decades, and we've actually turned it into a worse system. At this point, like, who can afford to go to the doctor? It's really, unless you have insurance, you can't. Well, that really shouldn't be the way it is, right? The insurance used to be a luxury. Now it's a necessity of the system. So we have, basically, by meddling with things, we've made some things worse and made some things better. But overall, I think that the idea is that undirected changes end up making the world a worse place to live. So, in the economy, right, the left wants to kind of tear that all down and rebuild, with socialism or communism or whatever else, and those are all like bad ideas, right? We've seen them throughout history. We've seen socialism, we've seen communism, we've seen how it works out. It doesn't work out very well. Now, what's their problem with capitalism? The problem with capitalism is that people who are actually productive don't seem to be able to make enough money. Well, we could just fix that specific problem, right? So my idea is, instead of saying, let's tear down the whole system or let's go away from capitalism, it's very simple. Large corporations, which are already animals of the state, we simply regulate them and state that the corporation has to share whatever somebody's producing with that employee, right? About a 50-50 split. So let's say you have a corporation like Walmart, and you have a store, and whatever that store makes profit-wise, then they basically split that with the employees. And the idea would be that you can only realize as much in profit, or in this in the case of a store, usually it's corporate dues, right? So the store pays back to the corporation whatever their profit is. But let's say that instead of paying back like $1 million or $100 million, they look at the employees and look at how much the employees have been paid and say, okay, well, if the employees have only been paid $2 million, then we can't pay $5 million back to the corporation. We have to, and let's make it an even split, right? So let's say the employees have made $3 million over the course of the year. The store has made $5 million. So instead of saying, let's just give $5 million back to the corporation, you have to split it up. You have to give $1 million back to the employees, and then the employees will have made $4 million, and then you can realize the $4 million in profits to the corporation. So it's basically this idea of splitting whatever a productive person does with the corporation. So right now, I think that the real issue that we're experiencing is that productive employees are, productivity has skyrocketed since the 70s. Employee pay has basically stayed flat. So now we share that productivity with the employees. We basically say whatever the employees are producing, we share that with them, and that would also get us around a couple of other problems that we're about to realize. Automation, for instance, right? So if a problem or a particular job is automated, maybe you have, instead of having people working a cash register, you have people automatic cash registers, right, that Walmart's come up with. So instead of having one person that's productive, or 10 people that are productive, maybe you have only one person. But then that person would make more, right? Because they would still share in the productivity, whatever that productivity is. So I think it's a way of reconfiguring not the entire economy, just the split of how much money employees make versus how much of their productivity is sucked up by a corporation, and that would fix a lot of the problems that we see.